Hi, Ryan Michael Galloway, and coming to you tonight from, of course, We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and using the Gorilla Cam tonight. The Gorilla Cam is the cam that looks like a gorilla is holding it. Anyway, I want to talk to you about a couple things, and these kind of rapid fire in the next couple posts. We're working on live sound, and one thing I want to talk to you about is tone. Tone is stuff like bass and treble and mids, and what the heck are those things? Well, the bass are the really low notes, the bottom end of, say, the bass, really low notes. Mids are more like the things where some drums and certainly vocals and the mid-range part of guitar comes through. And then treble is things like cymbals and sibilants like S's and that sort of thing. So that's the spectrum of sound, if you will, low, mids, highs. If you had something like a graphic equalizer, those are split into a whole bunch of little faders that go up and down. And in fact, really what you're doing when you adjust tone is it's a volume control that simply controls that part of the sound. It boosts or cuts, it raises or lowers the treble, or raises or lowers the mids, or raises or lowers the bass. In the case of a graphic EQ, it might be divided into 12 segments or 32 segments, or many more segments. But basically, on the bass end, from your perspective, on the bass end, you'd have the really low notes, slightly less lower notes, the low mid range, the high mid range, the very high mid range, the highs, and the very highs, and the very highs. So anyway, each one of those with a little fader that goes up and down, and each one that affects the tone of whatever's coming through it. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really think a PA that's set up well really needs all that much tone control. Most of what's coming through the speakers and most of what's able to be controlled for each channel can be just done with normal tone controls, with maybe just a couple items called parametric EQs that can let you center in on a particular tone that might be feeding back or humming or resonating. And so that's fine. When you're outside, you can run everything without boosting or cutting much at all, because there is no room acoustic to overcome, no resonance, no phase cancellation, nothing to worry about. So anyway, that's a little bit about tonality, and we're going to go over to the board for the next entry. And I'm going to do a couple rapid fire here and dribble out over the next couple nights so you can see them and not get overwhelmed. But that's EQ, equalization, tone control, whatever you want to call it. It's the highs and lows that you're controlling in that PA system. And I wanted to set you up with that information because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the board, and part of it is the tone controls. And I want you to understand that tone control is basically just raising or lowering a certain part of the sound instead of the whole thing. So anyway, hope I didn't confuse you on that. I am Ryan Michael Galloway, coming to you from We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. Thanks.